What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and it's your favorite segment, my favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment, where we take a look at the financial data for DSP Gaming slash DSP React slash DSP Throwback. Oh my lord, I hope he doesn't have a fourth channel because I'm not going to be able to say that whole thing in one breath. So, first of all, let's say big ups to Linda Burnell. If it wasn't for Linda Burnell, Phil would have had a abysmal work week as it relates to support. And why am I giving a shout out to Linda Burnell? Shout out for Linda Burnell for birthing Phil on April 6th. Because if it wasn't for the birthday marathon, our boy Phil would have had a terrible week in support. But we'll talk about that when we get to that point. Let's look at the numbers, folks. And I got a bit to say about this, folks. So let's get into it. So as you guys know, the work week started on the 5th and spanned it all the way through the 10th. And our boy Phil managed to make $1,401 compared to $1,132, which, if you look at it, isn't that great. I mean, again, the birthday stream pumped all these numbers up. If you take a look at his birthday numbers, he made $670 in tips. So if you remove the $670 out of that, you're talking about less than, you're talking about less than what, about $700, $750 around there. That's what Phil would have made in tips for the work week. And that's going back into February when Phil's support was just cratering. So again, big ups to Linda Burnell for having the foresight being able to look in the future and look at her terrible son and birth him around April 6th. So let's take a look at the super chats. So super chats, again, he did really good with super chats. He did $523 for the work week. But again, if you take away the birthday marathon, which brought in 284, big ups to OIC, by the way. OIC and his many sock accounts and alter egos did hold down the birthday marathon. I counted he was somewhere over $300 in tips. So big ups to OIC for coming in and making sure that Piggy had a good birthday. So yeah, he made $522 compared to $166 last week. Now again, you remove that 284 and Phil's back down in the 250, 270 number. Which is better than what he normally makes, but yeah, it's not that great. I know Phil is excited about this work week and he feels like he's on a upward trajectory, but he really isn't. I mean, look at the birthday marathon right here. He made $670, right? Well, let's look at the totals. He made $954 just on Saturday alone. He made $294 on Sunday, which isn't too bad. But look at everything else after that. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The support was just fucking abysmal. And this, again, proves my hypothesis that there's no additional money coming in for Phil. It's just the Dent, shuffling around paper. So, they shot their wad on Saturday, and then the rest of the week was just normal. It was normal. So this mindset that Phil thinks he's up on an upward trajectory is really not the case. And if you look at his view counts for his videos, they're all fucking shit. I mean, videos that he's posting, he's gained 150 views, 200 views. His Elden Ring playthrough, garbage. His Alone in the Dark, no one gives a shit. His Helldivers, the first video I think got 1,000 views, and then everything else after that can barely crack 200 views. So I don't know this upward trajectory that Phil thinks he's on. But this week, he's going to be in for a rude awakening. And I'm guessing he's hoping that the co-op stream with Kat will save the business or save the week. And he might make a little bit of money on that week, but this is the fifth time they've pulled this, Kat on stream shit. And every single time the support's been abysmal. The last time he did it, what did he get, $70? I don't expect more I don't expect him to receive more than that on Saturday stream, but we'll see. Anyway, and then after that, what does he have? Elden Ring and more Alone in the Dark for next week? Yeah, that's not bringing the boys to the yard, Phil. You really need to. You need another playthrough. You need GTA 6 to announce that they're coming out tomorrow, because I don't know what you're gonna do. Anyway, so let's look at the totals. So for the totals, Phil made $1,924 this work week. Compared that to last week's total of $1,298. Now again, you take out that $954, Phil would have been making about $950 for this week. Phil, I'm sorry. You take that little victory lap that you think you have here, but you know, if you actually looked at your numbers daily and maintained a spreadsheet like this so that you can keep track of your figures, you would see that it was just one day, Phil, and everything after that was just garbage. But again, you don't do that. You live in the moment. He saw that he had enough money to play WWE Champions, and he was happy. And mind you, let's not forget WWE Champions. WWE Champions, Phil wailed out here. On his birthday, he ended up spending $1,610. $1,610. So he actually spent more on WWE Champions than he actually made in tips. His total tips was $1,401. So he ended up taking what, $200 from his YouTube paycheck and blew that shit on WWE Champions. Just fucking ridiculous. So Phil, you take that win. You think everything's going well. I'm sorry, it's just not true, man. It's just not. Look at these fucking numbers. Take away your birthday marathon, and you're up shit's creek, Phil. I'm sorry. It's just the numbers are there, and there's no way around it. And I took a look. I peeked at your view counts for April. Man, that shit is looking terrible. You thought March was bad? You thought March at 422,000 views was bad? Wait till the end of April. You're going to have less than that. You'll probably have less than 400,000. Anyway, that we'll talk about that at the end of the month when we get there. So far for April, Phil managed to pull in $2,550, and that isn't bad. But again, that's propped up by the $1,000 that he got for his birthday marathon. So let's see if he could keep up that energy, and let's see if he can even manage to make anywhere near what he made in March. And again, folks, don't forget, this is simply just tips and super chats. And I know Phil likes to bitch and complain that I report bad numbers, but that I don't report chargebacks. I don't report that, no. Every time I report these numbers, I specifically say they're simply just tips, super chats, and these are gross figures. I'm not accounting for the reduction of PayPal fees or YouTube fees. I'm not accounting for that because to me, that's the cost of business. You have to pay taxes and you have to pay fees. There's no way around it. But when people ask you how much you make, you never give them the net. You never give them the net income. You always give them the gross income. So that's what I'm doing here, folks. And if Phil likes to bitch about it more, have at it. It just gives me more content that I can clip, post, and make fun of him about it. So yeah. So let's look at the 2024 numbers so far. So for 2024, Phil managed to make $14,786 for 2024 so far, compared to $14,982. So he's getting close there. He's getting close to his tip count. Again, thank God for that marathon, because if it wasn't for that, he would be down. And then for super chats, he's made $4,427 so far. Compare that to last year, where he made $6,362. Now that's what. Excuse me. That's where Phil was hurting right there. Super chats. So the grand total, folks, for 2024 so far is $19,213, compared to last year, where he made $21,173, for a net decrease of -9%. Again, Phil's just hovering around that 9-10% mark, and it hasn't budged from there in weeks. But if you take a look at 2022, that's what the numbers look fucking horrible. So again, Phil made $19,213 for 2024 so far, and then for 2022 he made $29,331. And if you compare those 2 years, Phil has a net decrease of -35%. Wow, -35%. And again, what I keep pointing at is, even though Phil has made $14,786 this year so far, he's managed to spend $12,682 on WWE champions. So of this $12,682, that's gone. That's gone. He wasted that out of his tip money so far for 2024. And then if you take away the PayPal fees and the transaction fees, Phil has zero money. Phil has zero tip money, folks. And there is nothing he can do to combat that. Unless he gets into Gambling Anonymous and breaks his gambling addiction, there's nothing Phil can do to change this, because he's not going to make more money. It doesn't matter how many channels he gets. He's not going to make enough money to combat these kind of fucking wasteful spending sprees that he goes on. So anyway, folks, that's it. That's all I have for the financial numbers. Next week should be fucking interesting because, again, he's got nothing going for him. Again, he's hoping that co-op with Fat Cat will save the business. And I'm here to report, folks, I doubt it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.